What's going on, guys? My name is Richard and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking about Tesla, which is my stock of the week, and I'll be discussing how to find the optimal buy point and why I think it could dethrone Apple and Amazon and become the next true market leader. And before we really get into it, I do want to kind of talk about Tesla in general because it definitely is a controversial stock and company. And people love to short it. People are investors for life. And personally, as a mechanical engineer, I'm inspired every day by what they're accomplishing and are doing to advance the self-driving field and also computer vision. But whatever your opinions are, please push them aside, watch the rest of this video, because today we're only going to be talking about facts. The fund ownership, the earnings growth, the sales growth, the long-term trend, and of course, the products. And if you like my analysis, please go ahead and leave a like down below. And of course, if you're new to the channel, subscribe as well. I make new videos just like this one every single week talking about stocks with the same potential as Tesla. I've talked about DocuSign, Dexcom, Zoom, Teladoc, stocks that have the potential to change the way we live, work, and play. Tesla certainly matches the description of a company that could change the way we live our lives. And to discuss that further, let's head into Marketsmith, which is sponsoring this video, and discuss those key fundamentals, that earnings growth, sales growth, and fund ownership. And whenever I bring up a chart in Marketsmith, the first thing I do is I check the right-hand side of the chart because I want to see it tightening up, ready to either jump up or jump down. And you can see that for the past couple of days, Tesla had been doing exactly that. And today it actually made its move, as I talked about in my weekly watch list video, which will be linked above. And you can see it's up over 9% right now, which is a nice gain. And overall, after I've done that, I go down here and check out those quarterly earnings reports. As you can see for the last report, earnings were up 11%, sales were up 2%, and by itself, that doesn't seem like much. But what's hidden in those raw numbers is kind of the turnaround story. And for that, you have to go over here to the annual earnings numbers. And you can see for 2019, the earnings per share was only 2 cents. And in 2020, you've got $3.45. That's a huge jump, and that's what Mark Minervini calls a breakout year. And you can see for 2021, that trend continues, and it's supposed to be up to $12.97. That's a huge increase. And overall, taking a look at the ratings, you've got an EPS rating of 28, a group RS of an A+. That's exactly what you want to see. That means that not just Tesla is doing well in this group, but the overall industry is doing well. And the best stocks are in the best groups. The SMR rating is a C, accumulation distribution is a B+, and that composite rating is an 85. So overall, not the strongest ratings from IBD, but still very solid. And the annual earnings per share numbers kind of speak for themselves. And lastly, I want to talk about the fund ownership, which you can check out by clicking that tab right here. And Marketsmith makes this really easy. You can see this increasing trend. And you had a big pop last quarter as funds were accumulating shares down in here during this big correction. And you can see overall that's about a 4.5% increase in funds owning shares, which is drying up that supply, which means that if there's a lot of demand, the stock can really pop. And overall, you've got two funds that are kind of higher quality based on IBD's criteria. And overall, this is a nice outlook on number of funds. So now let's head into TC2000, do some technical analysis, and talk about what that optimal buy point is. All right, jumping into TC2000, I want to first kind of take a longer term view by going over to a weekly chart and scanning out to the very beginning of Tesla, because I think it's very important to always analyze the character of a stock so you know what you're dealing with. And Tesla has shown us that's capable of really extraordinary things, because in 2013, you can see that it had a huge run up and increased over 500%. And right now you can see it's breaking out again, and after this big correction right here, could be ready for another move upwards. And how I kind of analyze the stages of this stock is using Stan Weinstein's stage analysis. And he uses the 30-week moving average, which is this red line right here. Let me make that actually a little bit thicker. Let's do that. And you want to be investing in a stock when it's in a stage 2, which means that the stock's price is over an increasing 30-week moving average. And you can see that happens right here during this huge run up. And then right when it forms the base, you can see the 30-week is going flat. And that's not really when you want to be in a stock. Or if you're a long-term investor, that's all right. But you never want to be in a stock when it breaks below that 30-week moving average. That's a danger point, and it could mean an entire breakdown. To kind of show this, let's talk about Boeing for just a quick second. You can see right here, actually way back in December, it broke below its decreasing 30-week moving average. That's a stage 4. That is when you want to get out, cut your losses if you have them, or otherwise just take your gains, because it can fall very, very hard and very, very far. So that's just a quick thing on stage analysis. And going back to Tesla, you can see we're right now in a stage 2 uptrend. We bounced off it right here. We found support right at this prior green line and also the 30-week moving average. And we're now moving up again above that rising 30-week. So we're exactly where we want to be as a bull. And I also want to talk about these green lines right here. If you're not familiar with what this concept is, it basically identifies a longer term base. And to form a green line, you have to make a new all-time high that then isn't broken for at least 3 months. And you can see after the first green line and the breakout right here, it increased on that huge run. And then it formed another one right here, didn't break it for looks about a year and a half, until finally in 2019, during that huge run up, it broke through it and advanced until it formed a top right here. And that is the ideal point to be trading or investing in a company, when it's breaking through into new all-time highs through this significant point of resistance on above average volume. The volume is key in identifying that institutions are picking up more shares and are behind this move. Or you can trade a stock when it's already above this prior green line and it's either pulling back to a short-term moving average or is a little bit oversold. And you can see that sweet spot that Tesla is in right now as it pulled back to the 30-week and then bounced right back off. That's the ideal point to be buying on a pullback. All right, so now that we've talked about the kind of the longer-term trend of Tesla, let's head over to the daily chart and talk about the setups that I would use to trade this company. And first of all, I do want to talk about this huge correction that we had and how you could have used the 30-day moving average as an indicator to get out. And that's exactly what I would have done. I would have gotten out as soon as it broke below this 30-day moving average on above average volume, because that means that institutions are selling at least part of their positions in Tesla. But once this is over, you're looking to get back in because this is a strong growth stock with great fundamentals. And the first possible entry that I identified is this bounce off the 200-day moving average, which is this black line right here. And this is very similar to the 30-week moving average in terms of time frame. And you also had a green dot entry and a blue dot entry. And a green dot is a 10-4 stochastic cross, which basically identifies a momentum shift upwards after it being very oversold. And a blue dot means that it bounced off the lower Bollinger Band, and I use 15-2 Bollinger Bands. And those happening on the same bar are very significant. That's what I've found to be the most successful trade with the greatest batting average. But if you missed that, you could have waited for a kind of pullback, this shorter term consolidation right here, and another green dot entry. And let me make this 30-day moving average less apparent. So here you've got another green dot entry, which is another potential entry, especially because you can see the volume coming in shortly afterwards. That means institutions are buying back their shares and getting back into Tesla. And after that, it moved up again and rested, and then you had another potential entry today as it broke through this prior high of the handle on looks like it's going to be above average volume. You can see over here that the volume buzz is 35%, so that means basically 130% of the volume is likely to be traded today. So this is another potential entry. It's a little more risky, especially because earnings are in the next couple days. But I did talk about it on my weekly watches video that I posted yesterday. So that is a potential entry up till now. And the optimal entry for me is a breakthrough this prior all-time high, which was set right on this day right here on 2/4 at 968.99. So this was an area that Tesla had not been able to cross. So it's a significant area of resistance. And let me actually put a line right here. So it was 968.99. and I'm going to set an alert right here that will text me if it crosses that line. And that's kind of what I'm waiting for. I'm not going to invest or trade this before earnings. I think it's a little bit too risky, but it really depends on your time frame. If your time frame is 10 years, go ahead, buy shares. But if you're a little bit more risky and more of a short-term trader like I am, I would hold off and see how it acts after earnings. And if it breaks through this line, I think really it could keep going for quite a while. So that's kind of my take on Tesla. And we talked about those key fundamentals, that annual earnings growth that I think is driving this stock upwards, and also that increasing fund ownership, which is so important. And we talked about a couple setups that I would have used to trade Tesla. I was focusing on other stocks right in this time, like Dexcom, DocuSign, TDoc. So I missed this one this time, but I've got that alert set. And if it breaks through this line right here, I will definitely pick up at least a few shares. All right, so to round out the video, I thought we'd put away the charts for a little bit and instead focus on the products that Tesla offers. And obviously they're known for being an electric vehicle company. They manufacture the Model S, 3, X, Y, basically luxury electric vehicles. But I thought it was interesting that they also emphasize the solar roof and solar panel projects. And going to those, you can kind of see that they're created with the same care and style as their cars. And I thought it'd be interesting if they kind of combine all their different products, similar to how Apple does it with the MacBook, the iPhone, the iPad, and kind of make a family of products that kind of interact seamlessly and kind of become the future of energy. And if that happens, I definitely think it'd be interesting. And going through their site, they also, of course, mentioned the infamous Cybertruck. And also, you can click here and talk about the Semi page, which is their big hauling truck. So they're definitely innovating in many different areas. And overall, their products are high quality, well engineered, and you've got the backing of Elon Musk and his financing. So definitely a very interesting company. The chart looks primed to really pop on this earnings report, and overall definitely one to keep on your watch list. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember to leave a like down below. I'd really appreciate it. And if you stay with me this far and you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. But other than that, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in future videos.